They're both Nike athletes, okay? So I think that's something to think about when it comes to all the back and forth between LeBron and Caitlin Clark. Also, looks like there's going to be a change, and some might call it a big.
So what's really happening here is a massive shakeup. Like the whole system just got hit with a shockwave. Just look at that reaction. It tells the whole story without a single word. You've got multiple superstar athletes rocking the same number, and suddenly it's Caitlin Clark who's being told to drop her legendary number 22. Just pause on that for a moment. This is the number that basically took over women's basketball for the last 2 years. This wasn't just some ordinary number printed on a jersey. This was the number Iowa fans literally tattooed on their skin. The number that blew up merchandise sales across the entire WNBA like nothing before. And now, in a twist that has the whole sports world buzzing, she's being asked to step away from it for the Team USA training camp kicking off in Durham, North Carolina, starting in December.
Case to be made that Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark's 22 is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. I don't think there's even I don't think it's arguable at all. I just think when you think of far and away women's sports, jersey numbers, to be real, I mean, I think is Sophie 8, I guess, maybe? But other than that, I have no idea. It's just Caitlin Clark at 22.
But here's where the whole story takes a sharp turn and the reality hits harder than anyone expected. You see, A'ja Wilson, a total force of nature in her own right, rocks number 22 for the Las Vegas Aces. She's a 2-time WNBA MVP, a straight-up superstar building a legacy of her own. Cameron Brink also wore 22 for the Sparks before that heartbreaking injury that stopped everyone in their tracks. And of course, the legendary Sheryl Swoopes turned that number into pure history during her Hall of Fame run. But let me break down what makes this entire situation so wild. The truth is, almost nobody outside the hardcore basketball crowd even realized those players wore 22. Not until Caitlin Clark turned that number into the most recognizable jersey in all of women's sports. And trust me, that's not just something people say. That's a real, trackable, undeniable fact backed by the explosion in merch sales and the insane social media numbers we've watched grow nonstop over the last 18 months.
This is the problem. There's no arguments with that. I mean, come on. But she certainly has become synonymous with 22, dating back to her historic college career at the University of Iowa and through her WNBA career. Clark isn't the only WNBA star to don the number. Aces forward and 2-time reigning WNBA MVP A'ja Wilson is also well known for wearing number 22, as does Sparks center Cameron Brink. Sheryl Swoopes is also known for wearing that number during her iconic professional career.
Let me really underline this part because it matters more than people think. Before all this chaos even started, nobody could casually tell you what number A'ja Wilson wore. Nobody was racing to buy Cameron Brink jerseys just because of the number on the back. And Sheryl Swoopes? She retired way back in 2011. That's 14 years gone. So, right here, right now, the cultural power and spotlight around the number 22 in women's basketball belongs to one person and one person only. And yet somehow, Team USA is still making her give it up. So what did they do? They handed her number 17 instead. And here's the twist almost nobody is mentioning, the part that flips the whole story on its head. Not a single player on the entire Team USA roster is wearing number 22. They didn't hand it to veteran A'ja Wilson. They didn't assign it to anyone at all for this camp. They straight up removed it.
Completely different number than what they're accustomed to on their professional teams. Caitlin Clark is going to wear number 17 at Team USA training camp. I'm going to tell you this, and I can't believe I'm going to use the word if. When she makes the roster as what should be the starting point guard for Team USA, that Team USA number 17 jersey about to sell. Woo-wee. They're going to be gone in moments.
And that is the exact moment where this whole situation stops being a basic roster shuffle and turns into something way, way stranger. Look, Team USA does have a standard rule about shared numbers, and sure, that makes total sense for keeping things clear on the court. But when multiple players come in wearing the same number from their pro teams, somebody has to bend. It's just how it works. Paige Bearworkers is switching her number, Angel Reese is wearing 25 instead of her usual 10, Aaliyah Boston is sliding over to number 30. But think about this for a second. Out of every number being changed, only one number was completely removed from the list. Only number 22 is sitting there, unused, untouched, totally empty on that roster. And that single decision exposes everything about how USA Basketball is trying to quietly handle the insanely complicated politics surrounding Caitlin Clark's unstoppable rise and the pressure that comes with her dominance.
So let me see if there's a load in and come up. I don't know how big it's going to be. Number. Okay, number. Right there. Number 17. So who is actually getting 22? Is anybody getting 22? Nobody.
So think about the optics here, because this is political strategy at its finest. If they hand number 22 to A'ja Wilson, the two-time MVP with a trophy case that speaks for itself, it instantly looks like they're drawing a hard line about who runs the show. It sends a message that Wilson's achievements give her the right to keep her number, while the rookie has to adjust and fall in line. Honestly, that would have been the safest, cleanest move they could have made. But flip the situation. If they give 22 to Caitlin Clark, the player who turned that number into a modern-day symbol, it suddenly looks like they're anointing her as the official face of Team USA before she's even on the final roster. And that would have blown up fast, especially among the veterans who already believe Clark gets extra love from the media and the league. So, what did USA Basketball do? They went with option 3. Give it to nobody. Leave the number completely empty. Make everyone else shift. It's the ultimate neutral, middle-of-the-road move to survive a political minefield. And it shows exactly how cautious, how tense, and how nervous they are while dealing with the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. They can't afford to upset the veterans who've carried USA Basketball for years, but they also can't ignore the fact that Clark is the main reason millions of casual fans will even bother watching these games.
But it's going to be strange seeing Clark in 17. Man, somebody might have saw that as a marketing opportunity, to be quite honest. So LeBron James dropped a video out there on his Instaface, his Instagram, I'm kidding. And they put this video out right here, or these pictures out. And Caitlin Clark responded to these. And there you see the response on Instagram itself. Let me just bring this up because somebody grabbed it. Right there, she responded.
Now, this is the moment where the marketing side of the story becomes seriously fascinating. That new Team USA number 17 jersey with Caitlin Clark's name across the back, it's going to disappear in hours. Not days, hours. Why? Because Clark's massive fan base doesn't care what number she's wearing. They're buying the superstar, not the digits stitched into the fabric. Just look at the receipts. When she made the All-Star team in July 2024, her jersey outsold every other player combined, and she didn't even play in that game because of a groin injury. Her Iowa 22 jersey became the best-selling women's college basketball jersey in the entire history of the NCAA. Her Fever 22 jersey shattered WNBA merch records in her first month in the league. So now, number 17 is about to instantly become the second most iconic number in women's basketball for one simple reason: because she's the one wearing it. But There's another layer here that most people completely miss. The legendary LeBron James posted a montage on Instagram celebrating his 23rd season. Just a set of pictures with the caption, Year 23. And Caitlin Clark replied with one single word, King. Now, Kevin Durant commented the same thing, but Clark's response hits totally differently because of everything LeBron has been doing behind the scenes. He's been one of the loudest, strongest supporters of her entire rookie season. When she was getting physically targeted by opponents in May and June, LeBron was the one calling it out. When media voices started questioning whether she actually deserved her popularity, LeBron publicly backed her impact on the sport. And when the Olympic roster drama exploded in June 2024, when she was shockingly left off the Paris team, LeBron was one of the few NBA legends who said straight up that she absolutely should have been included. And here's what makes that support so unbelievably important. Both of them are premier Nike athletes. LeBron has one of the biggest, most expensive shoe deals in the entire history of sports. Caitlin just signed an 8-year deal with Nike in April 2024, worth around $28 million, the richest shoe deal any women's basketball player has ever signed. So when LeBron boosts Clark, he's not just being a supportive veteran. He's protecting Nike's massive investment. He's making sure the next generation of basketball fans stays locked inside the Nike world. Because if Clark takes over the sport, if she becomes the clear face of women's basketball for the next 10 years, Nike wins huge. And LeBron's legacy includes helping make that happen. But there's something even deeper happening. LeBron is 40 years old. He's already missed multiple games this season because of injuries. The Lakers are struggling. Everyone in the sports world knows this is probably his final season before he either retires or accepts that rumored $200 million offer to play 2 seasons in Saudi Arabia. So when he posts Year 23 and Caitlin replies, King, it doesn't feel like a random comment. It feels like a real passing the torch moment. The biggest star of this generation publicly recognizing the biggest star of the next generation. And that matters even more because of who isn't doing it.
NBA players have been practically tripping over themselves to hype up Caitlin Clark. Steph Curry praised her unbelievable shooting range. Damian Lillard said her deep shots looked just like his. Draymond Green jumped into defender when the physical play got out of control. Jason Tatum called her must-watch TV. The support from the NBA side is long, loud, and nonstop. But do you know who's been strangely quiet? A huge chunk of WNBA veterans. The very players who should be cheering her rise. The players whose salaries are literally going up because of the earthquake-level attention she's bringing. The players who finally have more media coverage because she made the WNBA interesting to casual fans who never cared before. Instead of celebrating her impact, we got the dark side comments. We got physical targeting that went way past normal tough basketball and crossed into send a message territory. We got passive-aggressive social media posts about real hoopers versus media creations. Some veterans even questioned whether she deserved Rookie of the Year, despite putting up one of the most historic rookie seasons the league has ever seen. And that tension reveals something deeply uncomfortable about how the WNBA is reacting to its biggest star. Because deep down, this isn't just about basketball. It's about insecurity. It's about spotlight. It's about who the fans choose to love and who they don't. Just look at what happened during the All-Star game in July. Caitlin was injured. She didn't play a single minute, yet her jersey outsold everyone else on the court. Fans packed the arena wearing her number. Broadcasters mentioned her name constantly, even though she wasn't touching the ball. And you could feel it, the frustration from some veterans who felt overshadowed by a player sitting on the sidelines. But here's the truth. None of this is Caitlin's fault. She didn't beg for this once-in-a-generation level of attention. She didn't ask to become the face of a league overnight. She didn't choose to make history in TV ratings, ticket sales, merch, and social media. She just played basketball, and the world responded. But resentment doesn't care about fairness, and jealousy doesn't wait for logic. That's why the divide grew. That's why the tension kept building, and that's why every single move she makes now becomes a lightning strike moment across the entire basketball world. Now she's walking into that Team USA training camp wearing number 17, the number nobody expected her to wear. And she's about to fight for a roster spot on the same national team that completely snubbed her from the Paris Olympics just 6 months ago. The same team where A'ja Wilson, the two-time MVP who many veterans believe deserves more respect than Caitlin, will also be wearing a new number. The same team where Angel Reese, her college rival, who fans love turning into a storyline, will be adjusting to a fresh jersey too. And all of this is unfolding while USA Basketball carefully avoids letting anyone touch the number 22. No symbolic win, no clear message, just an empty number sitting there like a silent reminder of the politics they're terrified to step into. This training camp isn't just going to be interesting, it's going to be electric, because it's not only about basketball. It's about tension, it's about ego, it's about who gets to lead the next era of women's basketball. And on pure skill, Caitlin Clark should be the starting point guard for Team USA. Her vision is ridiculous, her range is unmatched, her ability to create offense from thin air is something international defenses hate dealing with. She's built for FIBA basketball. But the real question is, will she actually get the chance she deserves? Or will the politics, the whispers, the veteran pressure, and the seniority first mindset shove her onto the bench? We're all about to see it play out in real time. Here's what is clear. The number on her back doesn't matter to her fans one bit. They'll buy the 17 jersey, they'll watch every game, they'll support her no matter what. But symbolically, it matters a lot because this league has struggled for decades to break into mainstream relevance, and now they finally have a superstar who can deliver that spotlight without even trying. Yet, instead of celebrating her, instead of uniting behind her success, we're still watching pockets of resistance. We're still seeing veterans question whether she earned her popularity, as if any athlete has control over how many millions of people fall in love with their game. LeBron James gets it, Nike gets it, NBA players get it, casual sports fans around the world get it. The only ones still hesitating are parts of the WNBA establishment, and the longer they hesitate, the more they risk wasting the biggest opportunity the league has ever had. Generational stars do not show up every year. When they do, you build around them, you protect them, you elevate them. You don't make them abandon their iconic number while leaving it empty for absolutely nobody. So yeah, Caitlin will rock number 17 at Team USA camp. And let's be real, she'll probably make that number iconic too. And when those jerseys disappear from stores in record-breaking time, maybe then the message will finally click. This moment is different. This star is different. This opportunity is once in a generation. So tell me, should Caitlin have been allowed to keep number 22? Drop your take in the comments.